Joining us now is Niall Stanage, White House columnist at The Hill. Niall, thanks so much for being here.
Good to be with you, Natasha.
So Niall, first, I do want to ask about the contrasting views that we're seeing right now from Mayor Adams in New York and then Mayor Johnson in Chicago on this migrant crisis. What is your take on this?
That it's really a difference of tone and a difference of tactic. What we're seeing, I think, Natasha, is Mayor Adams in New York really ramping up the rhetoric around this, trying to underline the degree to which it's a crisis. And his hope is by using that rhetoric, I think it will stir the federal government and perhaps New York State also to supply him with more funds in particular. The danger or the worry is you exacerbate public anxiety, which is already at quite high levels. Now, in Chicago, Mayor Johnson was taking a different approach, trying to adopt much calmer rhetoric. That has the advantage that it can perhaps ease public anxiety. The danger is that you appear out of touch or you don't get the kind of funds that people who make more noise about this problem do get.
I mean, do you think that Chicago is making the right choice in potentially building winterized tent cities to hold migrants?
I don't know enough about the issue, Natasha, to say whether that particular mode of housing people in a temporary fashion is a good idea or a bad idea. I would say the optics of tents in a Chicago winter is not great, but I think the political difficulties may arise because, as I understand it, Mayor Johnson has refused to rule out raising taxes in order to meet the enormous costs. The estimate is that between now and the end of the year, the cost to the city of Chicago for this issue will be about 7 times as high as they were for the corresponding period last year. That, I think, is a serious political problem as much as the tents themselves.
And an important piece of information to bring to us, thank you. You know, we also heard from Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy that as president, he says he would deport American-born children of undocumented immigrants. We know the 14th Amendment says if you're born in the U.S., you're a citizen. So is this just another hardline stance on immigration from Ramaswamy? Is it just a grab for headlines? What's your take on this?
It's just a grab for headlines, in my opinion. The 14th Amendment is really pretty clear on this, despite Mr. Ramaswamy's suggestion that it is contested. The terminology or the wording of that amendment provides U.S. citizenship to anyone born in the country who is subject to its jurisdiction. An immigrant who is not in the country with authorization is still subject to the jurisdiction of the United States for other laws. This is why whenever former President Trump raised the issue internally in his White House of doing away with so-called birthright citizenship, his lawyers essentially told him that won't fly. It'll get challenged and struck down by the courts.
Okay. Niall Stanage, appreciate the context and time. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.